As you may have heard, Los Angeles renters can now be evicted for non-payment of rent that's left over from COVID. In this guide for renters and landlords in Los Angeles, we are going to run through some of the misconceptions and give you an idea in the timeline so that you better understand exactly when a renter can be evicted in Los Angeles. And make sure you stick around to the end where we're going to run through the surprising number one reason that we expect landlords will be evicting tenants. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We have been helping landlords and renters understand their rights before things go wrong. And as you may know, we have been covering eviction moratoria throughout COVID since the beginning. And remember, we are real estate agents and can't give tax or legal advice. But for the most honest and up-to-date real estate advice, subscribe to this channel. Let's dive in. We're first going to take a quick look at California and when evictions could start during COVID. And there's some nuance here that it is worth taking a quick run through. So in the beginning of COVID, and we were doing videos since then, hopefully you've been watching our channel, there was no eviction for non-payment of rent due to COVID, as long as you filled out your declaration. That was from March of 2020 to August of 2020. And if you gave that declaration to your landlord, you cannot be evicted for non-payment of rent during those periods. Then the next period, thanks to SB 91, September 2020 to September 2021, there was no eviction for non-payment of rent if you gave the declaration and paid at least 25% of the rent that was missed. Could not be evicted for non-payment of rent. Now, for those time periods, a landlord could go to small claims court to collect the rent. But if you met those requirements, you gave the declaration or the declaration and the 25% in time, you could not be evicted for that non-payment. That still carries over to Los Angeles. That's an important nuance you need to see. Next phase of protections ran from October 2021 through March of 2022. You're able to apply for rental assistance at that point in time. As long as you applied for rental assistance by the end of March 2022, you then had protection through the end of June 2022. As of July 2022, throughout the state of California, renters could be evicted for non-payment of rent in the months after that. For LA City, they had their moratorium in place, and basically evictions for non-payment of rent couldn't start until February 2023. You see the arrow where it drops down into LA County? Well, that's what ended up happening. LA City dropped into LA County. So if you couldn't pay rent due to COVID, you were protected through the end of March of 2023. Now, April 2023 in LA, you don't pay your rent, you're evicted. But what about that back rent? That's what we're going to show you this next part. Now, there have been some good articles talking about how the back rent is due in LA as of August 1st, 2023. Again, there's nuance, and that's why we wanted to run through what we just ran through. The first 2 points we started with, the no eviction for non-payment of rent from March of 2020 to August of 2020. And then if you gave the declaration and paid the 25% by September of 2021, that does apply in LA City, even though the LA City back rent with the deadline of August 1st, 2023 covers March of 2020 through September of 2021. Had you given those declarations and had you paid that 25%, you would be protected from what is currently going on in LA City. So that's very important. If you are a renter, make sure you bring that up as an affirmative defense. And then if you're a landlord, make sure you double check your records to see if the renter gave you those required things, because you are not able to evict in LA City as of August 1st, 2023, if they met those important requirements. That you need to understand, landlords and renters. Now, essentially, part 2 of the LA City back rent that's owed, so that would be the rent from October 2021 to January of 2023 for LA City through the end of January. That will be due on February 1st, 2024. If you miss that deadline as a renter, a landlord can evict you for that non-payment of back rent for that time period. So there's still more time, and there's no secret baked-in protections there with declarations or anything like that. A landlord can evict for those months if they're not paid back for those months going there. And the last important point, we have LA County back rent that's owed. And that's what you need to understand, that this specific deadline that everybody's talking about in the news is only for LA City. LA County has a separate rule related to back rent. It is a rolling 1 year to pay. So there are folks who've already missed the deadline if they owe previous rent that's older than 1 year in LA County. And in LA County, the last month for protection was March of 2023. So March of 2024, after you roll through that deadline, basically all back COVID rent that's owed, a landlord could evict at that point in time because of that rolling 1 year date. Hopefully this makes sense. Leave your questions in the comments below. And thanks for sticking around to the end. We promise to share the surprising reason we expect many landlords to evict for non-payment of rent due to COVID. And it's not necessarily to collect that back rent. Rents have been frozen under the rent stabilization ordinance in LA City and still are frozen through February of 2024. Landlords will be able to evict renters under RSO or not under RSO and set those properties' rental rates to a new market rental rate. So landlords who have extremely low rental rates, we expect will use this as a way to get their units to current market rents. Let us know in the comments below, landlords, are you going to be evicting for non-payment of rent due to COVID-19? And renters, let us know what you're seeing out there. Have you received a notice? Don't forget to subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter so you get these updates and you can take a closer look at the charts that we have in this video. And if you like this one, you are definitely going to want to check out this next video right here. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and we want to hear from you.